Hey, how about it, race fans? It's Richard Allen of InsideDirtRacing.com here with Justin Allgaier at the 411 Motor Speedway. Today's running in the modified class, soon this weekend running in the modified class. So I think the first question for you, Justin, is what brings a NASCAR Xfinity star to 411 Motor Speedway the day after Thanksgiving?
Well, like a typical racer, we can't get enough racing, and we've been lucky enough. This modified stuff has been a lot of fun for us, and we've been running a lot of laps, throughout the course of speed weeks earlier in the year, and then we ran our car all summer long. Nick Hoffman drove our Better Auto Parts Elite chassis all summer. I've gotten to run these last 2 weeks down in Volusia, which is obviously a lot different than coming here to 411 Motor Speedway. It was extremely wet and really tacky. Anything but that today, but just a lot of fun. These guys put a lot of time and effort into their dirt car racing back at home. We've been lucky enough to be part of the shock. We've been a shock builder now for a couple of years and building a lot of modified, late model, and open wheel shocks in the Midwest. And so, it's just good to have a car and be able to kind of, work on stuff for our customers. And so far, so good. We've had a good go at it so far here. It's my first time ever being here, so a lot to learn in a short amount of time. But it's always good to get to a dirt track.
Getting out to come and do something like this, you find it therapeutic. You're not having to worry about going to the next round of the playoffs and getting up more points than the next guy or whatever.
Honestly, I'm nowhere near as good of a dirt racer as I am an asphalt racer. So this is maybe a little more stressful for me because I don't want to not hit my marks, and I want to be competitive, right? It doesn't matter if I'm racing here at 411 Motor Speedway or if we're on the high banks of Daytona. I'm equally as competitive. I want to run up front and win races, and this has been a challenge for me. These open wheel modifieds are extremely difficult to drive. I think, for me, I've gained a ton of respect for my competitors and what they go through. I mean, I've been dirt racing my whole life, but these open wheel modifieds have definitely been the hardest class of car that I've had to kind of master and feel where I feel like I'm competitive at. So we'll keep digging along and having fun. But if there's a dirt race and I can be at it, you can bet I'm gonna be there and be a part of it.
There are several guys in NASCAR who are involved either in short track pavement racing or in dirt racing. Yourself, Tony Stewart, Casey Kane, Clint Boyer, Kyle Busch. Is that because it's fun to do, or is it trying to kind of give back to the grassroots aspect of the sport?
I think a little bit of both. Obviously, getting fans to the racetrack is the most important piece of what we do, right? We love going to the track and running good and winning races, but if there's nobody there to cheer us on and be a part of that and build that energy that really comes from that, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, right? The time and effort that you put into it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So, I know that, every Friday and Saturday night you go anywhere in the country and there's packed houses at these short tracks. Obviously 2020 has been a little bit different because of COVID, but, packed houses, we know that the race fans love short track racing. We know that they do, and it's great to be able to be a part of that and to give back a little bit, but also too on the same hand go have a little bit of fun and hopefully go be competitive and win some races.
All right, then the last question here. You said you've never been here before, and this year because of COVID and all that, you had to kind of get used to going places that you hadn't been before, or you guys raced on just about every night of the week. I think you raced on Mondays and whatever.
All night.
You raced at the Daytona Road Course. This coming year, you're going to race at Circuit of the Americas. So you're going to places you haven't been. I know there's no translation between here and Daytona Road Course or something like that, but just coming to a new environment, that's got to be a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. I think you learn a lot really quickly. As a racer, our job is to absorb as much as we can, as quick as we can. And you come to a new racetrack, and I think it's funny, we got a great set of notes to go off of. Nick Hoffman, like I said, has driven our cars. He's the owner of Elite Chassis, so we got great notes to go off of. They've been here before. But I think from my standpoint, iRacing's been a great tool. Even if 411 Motor Speedway is not on iRacing, just getting behind the wheel, making laps, and giving yourself a fighting shot at it, right? I tell kids all the time, when they ask me what that next step is, what should they do to try to make it to that next level? And my two things are, number one, go to school and learn how to sell yourself. Learn how to sell sponsorship. But number two, work on your skill, work on your craft. If that's iRacing, if that's going to the racetrack and crewing on a car, whatever it is, learning that skill, and I think that's super important. And so, for us, I've been on iRacing a lot, running a lot of laps, just keeping hand-eye coordination where it needs to be at, and keeping those fine motor skills there. Hopefully, it pays off in the long run.
I said that was the last question, but one more thing. They're going to cover Bristol in dirt. So, there may be some translation from racing here at Bristol on dirt. I'm assuming the Xfinity is going to be there. I don't think they've released that schedule yet.
They are not.
You're not? Okay, so no dirt racing then for the Xfinity Series, I guess.
Well, the trucks are going to be there and the Cup cars are going to be there. So, me being a dirt racer at heart, maybe I try to dabble a little bit and put something together. But, I've loved watching Eldora. I've not been lucky enough to be a part of it. I know this year the trucks are going to go to Knoxville as well. I think that's going to be a great show. I think it really it gives our fans that are true dirt track fans a really cool crossover, right? It's not the same. A stock car is not meant to be on dirt. It wasn't built to be on dirt. There's a lot of things that if you're used to watching stock cars on dirt, it's going to be a lot different. But we still are pretty lucky that we're able to do that. And I think it really gives our fans something unique and exciting to watch a driver try to adapt. I think that's the most important piece of it, is watching drivers and teams adapt to the varying conditions is really going to be interesting.
All right, that's Justin Allgaier, NASCAR Xfinity star. Thank you, Justin.